there. I wanted to just give you a little bit of background about how this program came to be. So, as you know, I'm an osteopath with a background in athletic therapy. I'm a Pilates instructor and a yoga therapist. And I've spent the last 20 years working with people in chronic pain, so I really felt that I had a good understanding of what people in pain were living with and how best to help them. And then I suffered a spinal cord injury in 2010. And now we're 2020 and I've been living with chronic pain myself at a significant level for a decade. And it's really given me a whole new understanding of what it is like to live in chronic pain. An understanding that you just can't get from looking at the research or reading books or taking courses, all of which I do, but really my lived experience of what it's like to never have that pain go away, not even for a moment, is just something that you can't understand if you haven't lived it. So I hope that you feel as you go throughout this program that this is coming from my heart. I really understand what you're living with. I'm living it with you. While each of our scenarios are different, of course, no two people are living the exact same experience, but the way that chronic pain has these tentacles that sort of reach out and affect all aspects of your life is something that's really difficult to explain to people who haven't lived it. So just to give you a little insight of how this program came to start, at the beginning of my challenges, it was in 2010, there was a couple of months period where I was living on my floor without being able to move anything but my hands and my forearms. So all I could do was look at the ceiling and work on my breath for 24 hours a day. And I consider myself very lucky because as I was dealing with that, while it was the most challenging thing I've ever dealt with, both physically and emotionally, I felt very lucky that I'm in the field that I'm in because I've been studying the human body since I was a teenager. And so as awful as it was, what I was going through, I didn't have the fear of not understanding what was going on. I knew what was happening. I knew that I didn't need to be more concerned than I was. I knew when it was okay to try movement and when it wasn't. I knew who to reach out to for support and for help and when to do that. And there was a moment about 3 weeks into this situation I was in where at the same time as though all of a sudden I was floating above myself and watching it happen, and at the same time as though somebody else inhabited my body, and for a moment, just a moment, I had such a fear that paralyzed me, and I finally understood why over the years so many of my clients have the same story where, you know, they may have seen many people before seeing me, or maybe they were on a waiting list for months before seeing a specialist, and in that waiting time they were terrified to do anything because they didn't want to make things worse. And although I understood that theoretically, it was only in that moment that I really got it at a visceral level, that I understood, okay, this is what it's like for people who don't have the knowledge of how the body works. And in that moment, back in 2010, as I was lying there unable to move, I started to formulate this program that took many years for my health to get to a point where I was even able to sit at a computer and start to put some things down on paper. But it was all the way back from 2010 when I was in that horrible, horrible state of pain and dysfunction that I saw this program that finally is built, and I'm really excited to share it with you, and I really hope that it helps you.